Absolutely. Yeah, I am a Fourth Ward resident, and that's very important because I had the honor this fall of being able to do something that only myself and the mayor were able to do that I hope every one of you here does in the fall, which is be a Fourth Warder who casts a vote for Mike Lenz. We had to make a decision about who's going to replace the mayor and who's going to do it in the best way and be the best for the Fourth Ward, and that choice became obvious that it was Mike. And there's a reason for that. I mean, we have two choices right now. We have Mike Lenz and we have Tim Akapini, and they're both people that I share a lot of commonality with. Because Tim Akapini and I actually grew up in the same town. He's younger than me, I didn't know him, but I've gotten to know him since we came here. And it amazes me that we grew up in the same place because we seem to come from such different perspectives on some of the problems that this city, that we now live in, with Mike Lenz is facing. Let me start off with the flooding. Tim Akapini came up to a council meeting not too long ago when we were voting on buying some technology that would help us collect data so that we could start solving the problem of flooding. He didn't understand why we would spend a pretty nominal amount of money in the grand scheme of things to understand the flooding because he didn't see it as a high priority. Now, I was on the town website where we grew up. They even have flooding on the front page there. There's hills. It's not nearly a problem like it is here, but it's a problem everywhere. He didn't think it was a problem here in Hoboken where we're below sea level. Mike Lenz, on the other hand, took a personal day to go to the groundbreaking of the pump that is finally being worked on, that Mayor Zimmer, who was our former Fourth Ward council person, made sure was going to be built first. He supported it. I said, Mike, should you take a personal day? And it was obvious because it's such a huge problem for the Fourth Ward. Of course I need to be there. I'm going to use one of my days to be there and be at that groundbreaking because it's so important. He gets it. Tim doesn't get it. When it comes to senior services that affect so many lives here in this room, we changed the shuttle this summer. We had a shuttle where one of them was repurposed onto the hop route, and right away we realized that there were some mistakes made with that. Mike was over at your building and at senior buildings before I was. I'm the chair of the committee. I live in the Fourth Ward. He was there. He was getting feedback. I was there beside him the next day. We were talking about it. We quickly came up with a solution. We responded to the problem. We were still trying new things, but we tweaked it, we changed it, we made it better. I haven't heard his opponent make any mention of it. He doesn't seem to be concerned about that. All right, when it comes to other issues like tax relief and making this a more friendly town for families, for people of all stages of life, for senior citizens, Mike has gotten it. He's supported me when I've called for a reval in this city. That's not a popular position, but he's supported it because he knows that's how families, maybe your sons or daughters, your families could stay here and actually have a life through multiple stages in Hoboken. When fees were brought up, he said people who can, families who can, pay fees for our sports leagues, they should. His opponent came up and criticized him for that. And that's kind of funny because I went on the website of the town we grew up in today. I went on that website and I looked at the Stony Point Little League, which Tim Akapini was a part of, and their fee is about 3 times the fees we're charging here. And we're not charging for people who get the kids who get a free lunch. They don't have to pay the fees. So I'm kind of confused how he made that an issue when the town we grew up in charges such a more substantial fee. Mike gets it. Mike gets the tough decisions have to be made for tax relief. He gets what has to be done in the Fourth Ward. And then the most important thing that I think we have in common and that Tim Akapini doesn't have in common, we all have people behind us. The people that are behind Mike are the 5 council members that are forming a majority that are helping our mayor get things done. I want this to be a productive council that serves everybody who lives in Hoboken. The only way it's going to be a productive council, the only way it's going to be a council that gets things done is if we maintain a 5-person majority. Mr. Akapini has people behind him too. When we're in the council meetings, you pay attention. You look at who's speaking to people before they come up and speak. Tim Akapini is not an independent man. He's not an independent voice for Hoboken. He has the same people whispering to him before he comes up and speak. I've seen pieces of paper handed to him. He is a person who will represent the interests of people who do not want the best for Hoboken. We represent the interests of a 5-person majority that is helping this mayor bring about positive change for Hoboken. If we lose that 5-person majority, there is going to be a stall, or if not a dead stop to that positive change. We can't afford that as a city. We need to keep moving forward, and we need Mike Lenz to get us there. Thank you.